From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. Returning it, John Ross. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it. Wait,
nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
Third and long, it's Taylor. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Matt Milano not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Here we go. White 90. White 90. Ohio. Ohio.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Bills getting set to go. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Taylor. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. On 2nd down, Taylor. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They're not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bills have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following the fumble recovery, it's Taylor. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Give him 23 yards on the pickup. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now he'll escape to it, hammering for the goal line. and he loses the football. And the Bengals grab it. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Jerry Hughes in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
4 down.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way down to the 39. A big play there for Cincinnati. 59 yards. So forget about any talk of possible safeties. Here's 1st and 10, clear on the other side of the field.
Flex round.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll look to throw, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Short boot, taken at the 21. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go. Brad 38.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off near the 42. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Looking to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw now on first down. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Jerry Hughes in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll set up to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. George Iloka, the one that comes up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now it's a giant. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Second and 10, it's Taylor again. And he comes back with one complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, a 22. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Being chased out left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Forced out to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. It showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The Bills on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's it. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Taylor will bring the Bills up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. He hits his running back, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
slow. 48.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Taylor looking to throw on second down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Taylor. Now he's flushed out left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Third and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Going deep downfield for Ross. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry. Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well. I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken around the 12. And that negates a pretty decent punt return. And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back. Slow. This is Ajayi. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Marshall now, the return. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position. So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping,
Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Completes it to Ajayi. And some room to roam now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
The Bills on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he's going to be met at about the 43. He needed 2. He got 1. And that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely on line. It just needs a little more oomph behind it. And it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michelle. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got his man, it's Eifert. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they...
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Shaquille Barrett in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. That's complete. Bernard. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. The quick slant caught. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Marshall now, the return. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Gets it to Strong. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Slow.
They run with Ajayi. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Taylor now to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he's got some space here. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. From midfield now, here's Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books. But now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jerry Hughes. Getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long.
Ohio!
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. They're going to look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio! Ohio!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
A big pickup of 12 yards on fourth down to keep this drive from stalling. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Back to throw here. To the left side here for Eifert. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll look to throw. That's out to his running back, Michel. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
looking to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Underneath, this is Bernard. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll look to throw here. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. He can run for it, and he will. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. His pass caught at the 4. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And Taylor's throw there should have been intercepted, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. They'll try to run with a J. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Jay Ajayi, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now Taylor going to lead his guys up to go for 2.
Slow.
They'll try and run it with Ajayi. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. Now Ross to return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. He'll look to throw. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. He'll drop to throw. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. There's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Ajayi. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Buffalo,
thicker the pie, thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet them a buy, now Lisa no beamer, I'm Brian O'Connor, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Why I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a wildwood on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for a doubt. She don't give a she was in her bag. Fendi and some lane, asked for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. What we gon' I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. Love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the